Sounds great.
Sweet.
How are you, Tim?
Hey.
Tim Rozon.
Last time I saw you, we were at San Diego Comic-Con at the bar at a sci-fi party. So it's good to see you again.
The good old days.
Yeah, it's the good old days. What? There you go. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So how does it feel this season, compared to other seasons, getting back to work and kind of getting back into it?
Well, let's be honest, it took almost 2 years to get this season done, which is
Yeah.
it's a complete madness. There was the whole, I still don't understand what happened between season 3 and season 5, season 3 and 4, what happened and why we almost lost the show the first time and what happened. I don't know all the details. I never got into it when the Earpers did the amazing thing and, they fought like they did and we came back. And then, we came back and I was so happy to be back at work. And then the craziest thing in the world happened. Just the world went crazy. And it's just, the global pandemic hit and I didn't think we'd finish again. And then sure enough, I got the call and we were the first show back filming.
Wow.
We were the first people to shoot during Corona. And what a blessing that was. I mean, what a great responsibility also, and scary thing at the same time. But we got to do it, and it finally got finished. So yeah, it was different for so many reasons. And I also had a feeling that it might be the last because it took so long to finally get there, to do it, that at least I made sure that I was aware of that while we were filming, especially that the second half, the stuff that's about to air coming next Friday. Just every second and every day, I said, man, you're just how lucky I am to get to be this amazing character with this amazing crew of people, and know that this could possibly it. So just to enjoy it, to embrace it, not take it for granted for a second, and kind of that way, when we wrapped, I kind of could rap.
Yeah.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
So I was wondering, because of the kind of the fans wanting the show back, and it was this huge petition, does that kind of mean for you going in, does that make it a little bit more kind of scarier, or do you go in fully knowing what it is that you want and you want to deliver to the fans? Is there any type of heightened, you know what I mean? What I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. But that's all that matters to me. And take from this show. And I think at the end of the day, I think Emily Andrus, the showrunner, is very aware of that. I feel like we really delivered this season. I think for me the most important thing, whether or not this is the final season, which it most likely is, I think the most important thing is that the story we told is going to make the workers really happy. And for me, that's all that matters. So to answer your question, yeah, they're the only thing that matters when we film is what they think of what we're trying to do. I was just telling the other people before this the same thing, and it was kind of like, yeah, it's like when I meet these Earpers, they're like, oh my God, thank you, we love the show. But what they don't understand is like, I'm the lucky one for being a part of that community. Like the Earper community and what they've created, it's not going to stop just because the stove shop. And I know that. And what they've created and what they did is amazing. They got together and they did the billboards and they saved the show and they created these conventions of amazing people and just I remember when COVID hit, I did one Zoom. They had one Earper Zoom that I think it had 50 people in it, and the Zoom never ended. And it was just the community, so they could all be together at all the time. So if you needed support, and it's like, it's a community built on kindness and support in a time when we all need that so much. Right. And togetherness and acceptance, and it's beautiful, and it's more important than a show about killing demons. So for me, I'm the lucky one to be a part of that.
Wonderful.
I think for me that if you look at the idea of this show on paper, it was like, there's no way this is going to succeed. I mean, Doc Holliday is back and they're killing demons and she's Wyatt Earp's descendant. It's like, how is that going to come off? And yet you guys beat the odds. Comment on that. I mean, it was like, I guess when you were shooting, you must have felt, hey, we got something here.
I did. You know, and it's great that I could say that in all honesty, because sometimes you don't feel it, you know, and I did. I said, wow, we got something special here. You could just tell, you know. Well, the actors already were just incredible. Everybody from the get-go was just, you know, Melanie Scrofano's an incredible actress. Dominique is incredible, and Kat and Shamir. It was an incredible. We were very lucky. From day one, I could kind of feel we had something special. It took a minute to kind of get into it and understand it, you know, the show. You know, I think Wynonna Earp really starts Earping around episode 5, 6, you know, when it finds its groove and it embraces the comedy and the madness, because it's absolutely wacko in the best way possible. And when we embrace the madness is when it really becomes incredible. Yeah, I had a feeling from the beginning. I knew anyway. I knew I was as a character. What a character to play.
Oh yeah,
You know, that's the part that hurts the most. I mean, what is just
sure.
it's nothing like putting that hat on
Right.
and being Doc Holliday. It is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So I was wondering, because the show had so much downtime, was during that time period, was that kind of spent, would you say, for you kind of finessing the character and fully getting to know what was going on and getting into that script?
In no way, shape, or form. I am very fortunate, and I was working the entire time.
Mhm.
I did an incredible show for SYFY called Vagrant Queen. I was in South Africa the entire time. I was very lucky. And jumped into another very fun character, and then came back and hit Doc, and then the pandemic hit.
Right.
And then I said, well, this is crazy. What, like, you know, we're still in it, but I said, you know, how are we ever going to work again? And then last year was my busiest year ever. I went straight from Wynonna Earp to a new show called Surreal Estate. I finished Wynonna Earp on the Friday, and I started Surreal Estate on the Monday. I mean, there was a lot of COVID tests in between.
Right.
But yeah, and I jumped right into a new series. So I'm pretty lucky, to be honest. And the good thing about Doc is I never have to wonder. I can find Doc anytime. You know, it's as soon as I get that hat, it's that character is always there. He's very easy to find. You know, he's grown so much. So
Right.
that's the funnest part. Is just going along, and I'm very happy with the arc. You know, the way it ended, I thanked Emily I said, this is incredible what you've given me. What a gift of a character and an ending. You know, just thank you. What a gift. You know, I had some tough seasons. You know, season 4, I did some tough stuff. And people, you know, the fans like, why'd you do this? It was, well, you know, I just show up, you know, I got to do what I got to do. And, but the way it all ended, it really came full circle for me. You know, it was beautiful.
So as an actor, when you're explaining you have these different shows and these different characters that you play, how did you shake that all off to get right back into Doc and his headspace?
It's you know, first of all, it takes me about 3 months to grow that mustache. So most of my time is around the mustache. Even the other shows I do, they know that I have to have facial hair in some way or another. I think I was one of the first people on a Hallmark movie to have a beard, but it was the only way I could sign the contract because I needed the beard to grow into a mustache.
Right.
You know, it's like, sorry. I remember my agent telling me, oh, you know, you might lose the movie because of the beard. Hallmark wants you clean shaven. I said, well, then tell Hallmark it was nice seeing you. You know, we're talking about Doc Holliday. I'm not doing a fake mustache. I'm just not doing it. So that helps. You know, it literally takes me like 3 months to get into character. So I'm already there and preparing. But like I said, that character lived right here before I got that part. I remember I did that audition. It was for me, the audition I couldn't wait to do. You know, and the same with the screen test. And the screen test can be very stressful. I don't care who you are. You know, you're nervous. It's a screen test and you're in LA and there's producers and there's jobs and there's contract. I was not nervous for Doc Holliday. Not first. Get me in the room. Get out of my way. I just want to show you guy. I just want to be this guy. You know, it was the only time I've ever been like that.
Right.
What's it like when Melanie stepped behind the camera and directed episodes and other actors and did that too?
Yeah, it was super fun. And what's crazy is she actually came and did this new show that I'm on called Surreal Estate. She came and did 2 full episodes of that. So I got to see the real difference, because Wynonna Earp, it's Wynonna Earp. And yes, she's directing, but it's our crew and it's our, but she's very fortunate. I'll tell you this, because I've never seen somebody get so much support. We all support her so much from day one. I remember everybody was like, "Oh my God," because she came on Surreal Estate later, and the other cast member was like, "Dude, shut up about Melanie already." Like, I just like, wait till she gets here. She's gonna kill it. She's the best actor, and I just noticed immediately everybody comes around to support just around her. They're on board with whatever the plan is. Yeah, it's remarkable. Yeah, and it was fun because it's Mel. So, I think her jokes didn't land as good on the new set as much as the Wynonna Earp set. It takes a while to get used to the Melanie Scofano. But yeah, it was awesome.
Wonderful.
You
And
know, Go
so
ahead.
what would you say would be, if you could remember back with everything, what would you say would be one of the most challenging moments as an actor working on that show?
Well, it's tough because, you know, uh, it was probably be season 3 when Doc became a vampire, and there was a scene where we're out on the porch, and Wynonna wouldn't let Doc in the house again. She was ashamed of him. That one hurt. That one I took to heart really bad. I remember I even hid the teeth in the scene, which wasn't scripted or anything, but that was my shame. It's just the shame of it. I was so ashamed of the character, even for what he had done and how badly he let down this. Because we get the scripts, but once we're going, you don't really have time to jump ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, so you get it a couple of days before maybe, and you kind of sink your teeth into it. But that's about it. That's all. And then you get these scenes, and Melanie's such a good actress, man. You need to connect. If you disconnect, it's over. So you just got to stay locked in. And when you're locked in and she's literally looking at you like you're a piece of, how did you do this? It rips you inside. And I remember it was like 3 a.m, night shoot, out at the homestead, -30. I'm out on the thing with these fangs in my thing, just ashamed. And that one hurt. She gave me a eucalyptus plant. What's the one that heals bruises and abrasions?
The aloe?
Yeah, the aloe vera, because she slapped me so many times that night out there in the balcony.
Right.
Unlike any other person, I maybe say like no, but for the process, not that I'm that method an actor, but I was like, Mel, let's just do it, man. Let's, let it go. You have my permission. You know what I mean? Like you can let me have it. And she let me have it. So, all night just out there in the fish, wow, you're not coming in the house. How could you? Boom. And just each one, I was like, why, Doc? I remember that night, I was like, oh, I got home and I was like, I didn't fall asleep right away. And then she got me an aloe vera plant, which I kept forever. Now, I have that somewhere still. I have a cactus that the SFX grips gave me because they buried me alive one season underneath the house. But I was actually buried that whole day. And it was just easier for me to stay buried than come out all day. So I stayed there all day. And then they brought me juice containers with straws. And the crew was like, who's this guy who's going to stay in the dirt? It was easier. Because if not, it's an hour to come out of the dirt. Then they got to reset it for an hour. And it's like, I was like, guys, I'm chilling, man. I'll just stay here. And so the SFX guys gave me a cactus that said, thanks for not being a prick.
Oh, that's great.
I kept that with me every day, and the aloe vera plant that Melanie gave me.
Wonderful.
As far as this character, Vampire, you've had quite an arc with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's it like when you get a script and it's kind of like, hey, look what I'm doing this week kind of thing?
Craziness, especially when, because at the end of the day, whatever a good guy or a bad guy is, I don't know, but I think I'm more like a good guy. And so when Doc does bad guy stuff, it's tough on me, you know. So what are you doing, man? Wow, well, you know, it's tough. But that's the beauty of acting, is to get to do and be other characters and stuff. But you know, the coolest thing of all is the way that it ends. It all kind of came together in such a beautiful way that he learned from all that stuff. You know, at the end of the day, Doc, and he gets it, in my opinion, kind of before Wynonna does, that you got to let go of the past to have a future. You must let go. And Doc lets go season 4, and it's beautiful. And I remember being so thankful for Emily saying, wow, what a gift you've given me as a character this season, that this man can be brave enough to make that choice and just let it go. Just let go. It was incredible. And then it makes all the hard stuff and the bad stuff you do. It's just, it's more for the pot. It makes the stew more tasty. You know, you can't just be.
Oh, sorry, Tim. Hi, everyone. We have time for one last question.
I know that you said that you disagree a lot with Doc. So I was wondering, as an actor, are there any moments where you have to go in and just kind of justify his actions?
Yeah, I mean, the coolest thing ever for me that it was actually Michael Eklund, the actor who played Bobo Del Rey so incredibly on our show. He told me once, and I've stolen his answer a million times, but I told him I stole it. So it's, when somebody asked him, hey, Mikey, what's it like playing the bad guy? And he said, well, the bad guy doesn't know he's the bad guy, does he? The bad guy thinks he's the good guy. You know, and the coolest thing about a show like Wynonna Earp is if you really look at it, and in season 4, it's really evident to me, is what she's doing good? Is what the bad person's doing bad? It's like, who's more selfish in what they're doing? And everybody has their own reasons. So, you know, we all do stuff. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is. We all do different things. So that's what makes a character a character. So for me, I never, other actors, they get upset and they question stuff and they call the showrunner and they call the writers. I've never done that once.
Right.
I accept and I trust in what we're going with. And that's my job at the end of the day too, is to perform what you've worked really hard at and created. And my job is to try and deliver that in the best way that I can. But the coolest thing about Doc Holliday is even when I played the things that I disagreed with, he always had the heart. And for me, I don't know how it came across, but it was always evident to me that it's there. You could always tell the man had the heart. You know, even in the choice, some of the tough choices he had, or the bad things that he did. For me, it was always obvious that the man had a heart, and that's how I played him from day one.
Well, congratulations. I mean, it was just an amazing series, and you killed it as Doc Holliday. You really did.
Thank you so much, guys. That means it means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. If you can just kindly press the leave room button.